Hi everyone, welcome to 40K on Point, the channel that quantify Warhammer 40K. This video describes the heavy walker choice for the orcs, and it is using our quantifiable methodology. If you want to know more about the metrics that are used in this video, please follow the link in the description. The three units that will be analyzed in this video is the Stampa, the Garkanaut, and the Morkanaut. The Stampa is the first unit to be analyzed in this video. For 905 points, you are getting one model armed with a Def Cannon, Supra Gatler, 3 Big Shooter, a Twin Big Shooter, 3 Supra Rockets, a Scorcha, and a Mega Chopper. The Def Cannon is a 7.2-inch heavy 3d6, strength 10, AP -4, and d6 damage. The Supra Gatler is a heavy 3d6, strength 7, AP -2, damage 1. And the Supra Rocket is 100 inches of range, heavy d6, strength 8, AP -3, damage d6. The Mega Chopper allows two kinds of attack against vehicle. That would be 6 attacks of strength 20, AP -5, damage 6. Against other smaller targets, it can make 18 attacks, weapon skill 3+, and its strength is 10, AP -2, and damage d3. So you have a lot of options for offensive capacity. Now on the defensive side, for 905 points, you are getting 40 wounds of toughness 8 and a save 3+. Also, the unit has a 12-inch move. The rules Here We Go and Daka 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 was considered in the metrics. The Psycho Daka Blast that allows to shoot a second time with the Supra Gatler was considered, but only once in the metrics. The Bigger and Stompier that allowed to fall back, declare charge, move over models, infantry models, was considered also in the metrics. The Stampa Rigger Crew was also considered in the metrics, but the effigy rule was not considered. This unit is also a transport, which can transport 20 infantry models in its belly. This unit has a lot of potential, but it is also very expensive. So 905 points, it is very, very expensive unit in many codex. However, it reached a score of 103% of its value according to our metrics. It is considered a dedicated anti-tank shooting platform. Something that is interesting is that that unit do not degrade its shooting capacity even if it receives damage. So that may be something interesting. Its anti-personal capacity is not very good either in shooting or in melee. It's okay. Its anti-tank melee capacity is as good as is shooting, so really it's an anti-tank platform. Its fortitude score is higher than average. You are paying, even if it's impressive to have 40 wounds of toughness 8, you are paying 905 points. So per point, it brings, and if you normalized everything, it is a heavier cost than usual. So you have a lot of offensive power, but that offensive power comes with a higher defensive cost. And something that is interesting is a mobility. It moves fast, but also it can transport a lot of infantry. So if you take all that into consideration, it gives a very good mobility score to the Stampa. So overall, the Stampa is considered to be worth its point. Next, we have the Garkanaut. So for 340 points, you are getting one model armed with a Death Storm Mega Shooter, 2 Twin Big Shooter, 2 Rocket Launcher, a Scorcha, and a Claw of Gork. So the Death Star Mega Shooter is a 36-inch, AV 18, strength 6, AP minus 1. The Claw of Gork allows to either to crush or to smash. When you crush, you do have 6 attacks of weapon skill 3+, strength 16, AP minus 4, and damage D6. When you smash, well, at that point you have 18 attacks of strength 8, AP minus 2, damage 2. This unit is having an 8-inch move, and for 340 points, you are getting 18 wounds of toughness 8 and a save 3+. The rules Here We Go and Daka 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 was considered in the matrix. Also Big and Stumpy, which allow to fall back and charge again. And the transport also was considered for 6 infantry unit. The guard cannot perform well in our metrics, reaching a score of 112%. So it is a versatile damage dealer, either with its shooting or melee capacity. Its melee capacity is a bit better, but it still has versatile shooting capacity. So that creates a lot of form of damage output. Its mobility is okay, and its fortitude score is a bit higher than average. So that makes overall a unit that could deal a bit more damage than its defensive cost. So that makes a unit that is a bit more than worth its point. So for 320 points, you are getting 1 Markonaut armed with a custom Mega Blaster, 2 Twin Big Shooter, 2 Rocket Launcher, a custom Mega Zappa, and the Claw of Mork. The custom Mega Blaster is a 24-inch Assault 1, Strength 8, IAP minus 3, and damage D6. That can deal mortal wounds to the bearer. So that was not considered in the metrics. The custom Mega Zappa is a 36-inch weapon, heavy 3d3, strength 8, AP minus 3, d6. Again, if that unit receive a 1 to it receive 1 mortal wound. That also was not considered in the metrics. The Claw of Mork is very similar to the Claw of Gork. So it has the crush that is very good against tanks, and the smash option that is better used against infantry. So that unit has a 8-inch of movement, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 5+. So for 320 points on the defensive side, you are getting 18 wounds, toughness 8, and a save 3+. The Here We Go and Daka Daka rule were considered. So is the Big and Stumpy, which allow to fall back and charge. No custom force field was added to this unit. The unit also can transport 6 infantry model. The Markonaut performed very well in our metrics, reaching a score of 127%. The unit is more dedicated against anti-tank, both in shooting and melee. A lot of that is also taken into consideration that you have a 20 point of difference between the Markonaut and the Gorkonaut, and that helps the Markonaut both in its damage output per point and its defensive cost per point. So that has an impact on every level of the metrics. That helps by giving a better score. Also, the fact that its shooting capacity gives mortal wounds on 1 to hit was not considered in the metrics. So maybe that would lower a little bit the value of the Markonaut. That being said, it is definitely a unit that is interesting. It is a good anti-tank, very versatile unit for its damage output, and its defensive cost is almost the average. So that makes a unit in which its damage output exceed its fortitude cost, its defensive cost. So that makes a unit that definitely is worth its point. So overall, the choices for the Heavy Walker are very interesting for the Orks. I think the Marconaut is the best choice for almost the same price as a Stomp Off, 960 points. You are getting 4 Marconaut, and in the shooting they are very, very close to each other. But when it comes to melee damage output per melee per point, definitely the Marconaut would be almost 3 times better than the Stompa, and also its defensive cost is lower. You're getting almost 54 wounds for 3 Marconaut, and for the same price you are getting 40 wounds for the Stompa. So that makes a unit, I think, if you go full Heavy Walker, the Marconaut is something maybe more interesting. Also, it can be fielded without having to pay a command point to have a super heavy auxiliary detachment. When it comes to the analysis, it's a bit sad that the specialist detachment are not considered anymore for the competitive game, because you add the custom ammo stratagem, which was very interesting, which allowed Marconaut or Garconaut to shoot twice. So that would be very interesting for Marconaut. But even without that, the Marconaut can be something that is competitive or very close to be. First, by having the custom job sparkly bits, which increase the ballistic skill to +1, brings the unit to 161% of its value. Also, a knob with the WAG banner increased by 1 the weapon skill, so it brings the unit to 180%. And if you have a big mech with a custom force field that is close by, then at that time the unit gets 5++ invulnerable save, and that brings the unit to a 193% of value. So very, very close to the 200% benchmark. So maybe a few Marconaut will be seen in the competitive. I think that would be very interesting. This video described the Heavy Walkers for the Orks using our normalized metrics. Please feel free to comment on how to increase the efficiency of those units. Also subscribe if you like this content. I will upload all the units of 40K using exactly the same method. Thank you for watching. Over and out.